All right, what's going on, everybody? So today we got to talk about this PlayStation Showcase. We haven't had one since 2021. I'm here with my friend and great content creator, RexBebop, and today we're going to go through what we expect to see for the showcase, what is rumored, all sorts of stuff. So, just to kind of break down where we were last time when we got the PlayStation Showcase, essentially, there were like a few games just off the top of my head. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, Marvel's Wolverine, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 16, Stellar Blade, which was previously Project Eve. They actually showed that twice, and then Pragmata, which I don't think you probably remember. That
Mm.
was that Capcom game. And so one of the things, so also man, okay, so I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So let me go ahead and kind of talk about a little bit of what they've already confirmed, and then I'll kind of pass it off to you. So basically, this PlayStation Showcase is going to be Wednesday, May 24th. So that's next week. It's going to be 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. That's our time. Um,
Hmm.
it's going to be over an hour long. It's going to focus on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation VR 2 games. It's going to be revealing some. So they said they're going to be revealing some new creations. When they say that, I assume they mean new IP and also third party and indie games. So I kind of want to pass it off to you first off. What do you think? So I guess we can kind of talk about the stuff that we probably know they're gonna show. As far as the stuff that I've already mentioned, Marvel's Wolverine, Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Like, do you expect any gameplay from Marvel's Wolverine? First off, because that one seems to be, I don't want to say a ways off, but maybe we get to see that next year. I don't know. Since if we get Spider-Man 2, I don't know if we're gonna get those two back to back.
Honestly, I feel like it's too early for Marvel's Wolverine. I do feel like it's way too soon for that to like be showing gameplay for it because again, Insomniac is like pulling double duty with this and Spider-Man 2. If anything, we're gonna get. I pray we get something really substantial with Spider-Man 2. But when it comes to Wolverine, I feel like it's too early. I don't know why. I just do.
Same, like I hope, man, dude. I hope to see gameplay from it. I'm not gonna hold my breath, really. Um, I've heard reports of it, being violent. It's gonna be like a rated M game. It better be. I'm hoping that the gameplay is more like the traditional, games back in the day, like God of War, Ninja Gaiden, like those traditional hack and slash games. Like I don't want to be going around as Logan, and it's like over the shoulder, that God of War camera angle. Like I don't need that. I better be able to jump as Wolverine. I better be able to like I want it to be a very good game that's like on the same level as like the what was that game that they brought out back in the day, the Wolverine Origins games. Like
It's
those were like
X Men
surprisingly
Origins
good.
Wolverine, X the all either Ultimate Edition or X. No. The M rated version. Basically,
Yeah,
the PS3 and the 360 version got the M rated version, and the other consoles got the T rated version, which is the lesser version
like
of
the
the
only
game.
like the only version of that game that I remember playing was on the PSP, and I didn't even own that game. I straight up bootleg that joint because nobody owned games on a PSP, but yeah, like
uh,
no man, nobody's own. You actually
uh,
own games on the PSP, man. Like everybody had their joints
I
hacked. I
I
know I
got
did.
look, man. I didn't do hack stuff back then. All right,
And the
now
thing
I
is,
would
I
glad.
didn't do it myself. Like this gonna sound this gonna sound crazy, but like all the Mexican kids had the. I don't know why. I just remember all the Mexican kids had the joint because I remember I bought the joint. Actually, I bought two. I want to say I bought two PSPs, but I don't want to get off track. So the Wolverine. So here's the thing. So do you think?
Uncaged edition. That's it. It's the uncaged
That's what it
edition.
was.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a good question. So, do you think it's gonna be full open world? Like, do you think if we see some gameplay, how much of a chunk do you think we're gonna really see, though?
I feel like they're gonna have to really make an impression with how violent it really is going to be, because like they remember how like Spider-Man was revealed like after we like found out it was gonna be from Insomniac, and they just gave us like a little snippet. I feel like if they're gonna show anything of that, it's gonna be probably something like that, but like show like how violent Logan is gonna be in this one. It's like really make use of that fucking teen rating
Like,
because
dude,
you have it. So
like,
so
man,
use it.
if it's not like if they don't have like dismemberment and stuff in the game, then that's kind of a L right there. I mean, it's not gonna be make or break it for me personally, but that would suck. I mean, considering that Sony hasn't been afraid of pushing that M rating with stuff like God of War and The Last of Us. I want to believe, like, I think the only hurdle would be Marvel. If Marvel says no, we want this game to be accessible to little kids and stuff, that'll be the only thing. But like Marvel's been pretty good at letting Insomniac do what they want to do, considering what they've done with Spider-Man 2. And I guess since I brought up Spider-Man 2, we might as well go and talk about that. So
Okay.
Spider-Man 2 is so here's the thing. So and I probably should have mentioned this earlier. So the thing is about this year with PlayStation. So last year we had God of War, we had Gran Turismo, we had Horizon. This year, like their whole slate, and what makes this PlayStation showcase so important is the fact that we don't know their entire next 5, 6, 7 months. Like we don't know what's going on in the horizon. No pun intended. Like with these games, like with Marvel Spider-Man, we know that unless it gets delayed, we know that the game's supposed to be coming out this year because what was it? Venom's voice actor spoiled it or something. I think it's supposed to be coming out in like the fall.
Yeah.
Now I did see a video that maybe it might get delayed, but I hope that's not true. I mean, people have been speculating whether or not it's gonna have co-op since we're gonna be playing as two Spider-Man, we're gonna be playing as Miles, we're gonna be playing as Pete. What I want from this, man, they gotta show us some gameplay. I think if they don't show us gameplay, that'd be weird. If they don't show Spider-Man 2 in this, which I highly doubt, but if they don't show Spider-Man 2 or they don't show significant gameplay, then that's an L for them. And I would be concerned if they didn't show some of Spider-Man 2. And they definitely gotta, man. One thing I think we both can agree on, man. Get rid of the Mary Jane sections. Get rid of any of that stuff where you're not Spider-Man. You know, those freaking side missions and stuff, man. They gotta get rid of. They gotta really make better side missions too. I don't want to be going around chasing pigeons and stuff, man. That crap was not fun. I don't know about you. Like, didn't you get the platinum in Miles Morales and
yes, both of
them.
Both of them, yes.
I said, dude, I couldn't do it. Like, I wanted to unlock the rest of the costumes, but I was like, dog. Like, I couldn't do it. Definitely couldn't do it.
Understandable. Here's what I want. If you got anything else to add.
Nah, go ahead.
I want Venom to be an intimidating presence. I want Peter and Miles to be intimidated by Venom's whole being. Okay? I want genuine fear out of both of these two. Like, I want Venom to be return as a force of nature for this. I don't want comedy hoo-hoo-ha-ha.
I was just
Venom.
about to mention Tom Hardy Venom. I was just about to mention what you were doing.
I don't want that piece of shit. I don't want it. I don't want that. I remember when I first laid eyes on Venom back in the day in the anime series. I remember just how much of a genuine threat he was to Peter in the anime series. Hell, all the iterations up until, like, really, even Spider-Man 3, you could add that shit to the mix. Like, how much of a genuine,
please, God,
terrifying
kill
presence. Yeah. Topher
Please,
Grace
God.
ask God to put a hit on Spider-Man. I'll never forget that. But yeah, once he got the damn symbiote, it's like it was just like, oh shit, he just amped up his like evilness. Even the deleted scenes for Spider-Man 3, the stuff that got dude, the symbiote ate his body. Like by the time like he
Dang.
yeah, a deleted scene, it was gonna be
Like,
much
I haven't
darker
seen
than
all
what.
the deleted scenes for the Raimi trilogy. I've seen some of the stuff of like Green Goblin and stuff.
No, but seriously, like for 3, like Venom was gonna be a lot more darker than what was allowed. They cut like a lot of what that symbiote was gonna really be. And by the time like the pole like hit the ground and it shook off of him, Eddie's skull fell out of the daggone fell out as the
Dang.
symbiote was going crazy. Okay, that's how I gotta show you this. Like, it's just a genuine like, oh my god, this thing was really gonna be menacing. But anyway, back to the game. You've hyped this up for an entire game. I don't even care if it isn't Eddie. We know it's Harry under there, but it's like he really needs to be a threat to both of these two. Like this is something that both Peter, after this long and all the years of being Spider-Man up to this point, this is something that he has not ever like really faced before. That I want that genuine shock from fighting him, or even like this first to his last appearance.
So two things. Because I was trying not to interrupt you, but two things. So one, who do you think is gonna get that black suit? Because I think if I had to guess, it would be Miles. Just shot in the dark. I think it's gonna be Miles against the black suit, and maybe the black suit is gonna like, affect him, and then Pete's gonna have to like step in or something. And then number two, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Craven the Hunter supposed to be in this too? Because I want to see my boy in this. I got to because considering that the Craven the Hunter movie, I think is still coming out this year. We need Craven done right at least in something in the modern day and age. And I would love to see Craven. I want them. Oh yeah, one thing I would love to see, man, just better boss battles and stuff. But yeah, it's like unless you have anything else other than that to add, though.
I mean, something that isn't like Amazing Spider-Man 2, because I believe that was Craven's last appearance before this movie announcement.
Yeah, I
actually.
Oh, he was in that game.
Yeah, he was in the game.
Yeah,
like,
see, I never played it.
Yeah, he was goading Peter into like showing where Spider-Man is, and then he picked up his set and he's like, "What the fuck? It's you! I've known you've been Spider-Man the entire daggone time." I'm like, dude, that game was horrible. No. But seriously, it's time for Peter to get to first. I know Peter getting it would be like kind of on the nose, but you know what? I would not mind Miles getting it because he's still like the one that's learning from Peter.
He's still green, and it would make sense. Like, they might give it to Pete just because he's the main character. But
if we get it, and if we do get it in our moveset, I want the combat to resemble something out of Web of Shadows when we have the suit on. I don't care which one it is. We need to be more violent, and we just need to be more like, oh shit, there's a genuine like change in like I guess attitude to the combat. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. Make it be more, not necessarily lethal, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like vicious, like very. I don't know. I mean, get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying though.
I mean, we're already curb stomping people on the daggone concrete.
There's times when you're playing there's times when you're playing that game, like you're like fighting somebody off a roof. Like you're fighting somebody and you'll like kick them off the roof, and you know how like the spider web kind of like it comes and then
his gadget like he's already stuck on him, and then
it sticks them to the wall, and I'm like, okay, there's no way he survived that.
Okay, you do realize the cops have to go get to crawl their asses up there and go get him, right? I was like, when I actually thought about it, like logically, I'm like, well, you just made their job a lot harder doing this. But also one other thing. If we do have like co-op and all that, and we do get the option to switch Spider-Man on the fly and all that, I would want something out of GTA 5 where the perspective like change. You can change perspective,
Oh,
like holding
yeah,
the
yeah. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that would be cool.
turning it
I don't know.
down
I
the
don't know if
directional
they'll do
pad,
it.
the blah, holding the button. You switch between Miles and Peter, and they're both doing something different. They're not always together, so it's like, okay, let's say one of them's doing homework or whatever, and or one of them's like already like stop the crime or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I
I
know.
don't know if they'll
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
I don't know if
saying.
they'll do it, but it'd be cool to see.
Yeah, I don't. Like, I really don't know if I'll be surprised if they really have co-op in the game or something, because it's a big game. And oh yeah, one last thing before we move on though, man. They gotta, I already mentioned, they need to do better side missions and stuff. Because a lot of that, like, stopping crime and stuff, it got really repetitive. Uh, make the world bigger, because I know, I I
We
don't
couldn't
want to.
get to Staten Island. We couldn't get to Staten
Yeah,
Island
I
for
was about
whatever
to mention
reason.
the boroughs and stuff, because they need to expand that. Maybe even bring in, cameos. I highly doubt they'll do something like this with like Daredevil or somebody, but that'd be kind of cool. But unless you have anything else to say, I wanted to go ahead and like move on to a different game.
Okay, yeah, just I don't know. I know we already know the Avengers like exist in this universe of his, so it's
Thank
like
God it
just
ain't the Square Enix Avengers.
shut up. Anyway, I don't know. Just have like superheroes, other superheroes exist, and maybe like I don't know, like have team up shit with them. I don't know. It's just, but still like having like, oh, this is still the Spider-Man game. This isn't like Spider-Man and Amazing Friends. You know what I'm
Honestly,
saying?
that would
Like,
be a good DLC idea.
yeah, yeah. You know what? Yeah, but you get what I'm
Could
saying.
you?
Something like that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but that is something that they should do.
I mean, hell, I wouldn't mind like a Spider Verse crossover almost. Think
I
of one
was
of the
trying not to
DLCs.
mention Spider Verse this whole time. I was just trying
I
not to
don't.
mention
Fine, fine. No Peter B crossover.
it.
I want this so bad, man. Anyway, I got nothing to add. Let's continue. I
Okay,
guess.
so well, we don't really have to spend a lot of time on this unless you have a lot to say about it. Final Fantasy 16, I expect to see that here. I'm at the point
I
right
want it.
now. This is kind
I
of
want it.
like, huh?
I want it. I want it. I
Dude,
want it.
I
That's
want
my
it too.
commentary.
I'm tired. Like this, maybe it's not at the same level as how they kept showing Deathloop over and over at like every event. I feel like
Ad
Square
nauseum.
Enix, dude. I feel like Square Enix has shown. They've shown enough of this game to me. They showed it multiple times at a state of play. I want to say they did a dedicated state of play for it, and they already said that they have more to share with us. But I'm like, God, y'all, it feels like y'all have shown enough now. I don't need to see any more of it. I'm hyped for it. I know that there's people that are traditional Final Fantasy fans that might not like the whole change to hack and slash, more Devil May Cry style combat, which I gladly welcome in a day and age where we have God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, and it doesn't play anything like the originals. So for me, like, this is honestly probably gonna have a better battle system than God of War. It's probably gonna be a better hack and slash game than God of War. I mean, that might be a hot take, but it might end up being the case because it's got Devil May Cry 5's combat designer on it, if I remember correctly. And the game just like, as far as like the setting, the medieval setting, the graphics look good. Like, it just seems interesting. And then the whole icon thing, which kind of reminds me of Naruto. Yeah, like, I'm already sold on it. I don't need to see more of it, but I expect to see some of it there. Um, I don't know what else there is. Well, there probably some stuff that they haven't shown us, but I'd rather just experience that myself.
Yep. Adding to that, I really have nothing else because you basically hit the nail on the head with this one because it's like you've seen pretty much almost I think everything there is to see. The setting is something that I don't see much of these days in terms of like fantasy games,
Like Witcher,
and
and that's like it.
but that's it. That's it. But it doesn't have like Devil May Cry combat. Like the combat for Witcher 3 sucks.
Yeah,
Like I like Witcher 3, but
I've
good
heard
God,
people say that.
but good Lord, this is someone who has completed Witcher 3 and has played Witcher 3 twice. I like it, but dear God, it would definitely would have benefited with someone who knows what the hell they're doing with combat in video games. That's always been something that with CD Projekt Red has always like failed at. I guess
Yeah,
because
I've heard that like the story and everything is good on that.
Cyberpunk's like combat really is not that much to talk about either. So yeah, that it's kind of basic. Just thinking back at it. This is someone who's put enough hours in both these games. Okay, I know. All right.
You gotta say that in order to keep the diehards off you.
Yeah.
And you like
But
both of those games, so it's not like you
yeah,
just
I
speaking
like their
truth, man.
games. It's not like it's like just because you like something doesn't mean it can't get criticized. And believe me, I don't dislike Cyberpunk as much as I used to anymore. Like I'm kind of like I'm going over that hump.
Heard the game got
But
better, man.
it did,
They
and
patched it.
the resurgence of it through Edge Runners helped. So I'm like, okay, that definitely helped. And you know how to cheese it. But other than that, with the lead designer for Devil May Cry's Combat on it, it looks fresh as hell. I have really seen pretty much everything I needed to see from this. I want it. I want it. And you know what? It just looks like it looks fun. It looks so much better than 15 to me. To me personally,
Yeah,
15 was
same here. The only thing that I kind of am disappointed in, but I get it. It's like, yeah, we don't have party members, so you're not switching between them. It's just him and that dog. Like, I wish we had party members to switch to, but I kind of get why they didn't do that, because it's like it would be the equivalent of having like Virgil, Dante, and Lady, and all of them, because everybody has to have their unique move sets and everything. So I can kind of get
yeah.
why they did it that way, though. Oh yeah, and so speaking, because since I mentioned Final Fantasy, I didn't have this listed up here because I'm going down the list of the games they showed before in the showcase. But since we're on the topic of Final Fantasy, I might as well go ahead and bring up Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. You think we're gonna see that there, or do you think it's not smart for them to kind of overlap those two?
I don't think it's smart to overlap those two.
Yeah, I
To
feel the
be
same
honest.
way. Who knows? Maybe they'll do it, but I don't expect to see a rebirth here. Like maybe we'll get that. Maybe we'll get that like later on this year. We'll get, because I don't think they ever announced a release date for rebirth, so maybe that'll be later on this year. I just wanted to go ahead and bring that up.
That's smart. But other than that, I so you really can't go wrong with this combat and everything else around surrounding it. Like honestly, I'm glad that they did not go back to blah. They didn't revert back to the old form of Final Fantasy combat, the turn
Yeah,
base.
see,
I'm
some people want that turn based, and like I wish we could have both. I'd rather have both because I'm not averse to playing a turn based game, especially a turn based Final Fantasy. Like the last Final Fantasy, I'm trying to think the last Final Fantasy game I played was like maybe 10 and Tactics, which I didn't get to beat both of them because like I lost Tactics. So I lost Tactics on the Game Boy Advance, and then I rented 10, and I remember playing some of 9 when I was little. But yeah, this would be like my first Final Fantasy, and I'm gonna, man, I really want this to be the first Final Fantasy game I beat, because I know I don't really be beating like traditional RPGs like that. So hopefully this will probably be the closest one that I'll get to beat, because it's more action based. It's more like Devil May Cry. So I'll probably get the hang of the combat a lot easier rather than kind of going through turn based battles and everything like that.
I mean, adding to that, like I'm a person that loves Persona and like a few turn based stuff. So I'm not completely trash turn based games either.
Like
So
it's not outdated. It's just like it's like from Square Enix perspective, it's just like, well, it appeals to the mainstream as far as like the hack and slash games. That's more appealing to the main screen rather than turn-based games where you're like waiting your turn to attack. Some people don't like that sort of thing. So
Yep. Yeah.
but we can move
I
on.
want it. I want it.
Me too.
All right, next topic.
So you probably remember this game, Stellar Blade, Project Eve. Man, look, dude. So after Forspoken, I don't want to, man, because if Forspoken would have been good, then I would be like, yeah, man, can't wait for this game. This is gonna be amazing. Like after Forspoken, I'm gonna come in with just tempered expectations. I'm not gonna try to hype this or anything. I'm looking forward to Stellar Blade, like, cause we really don't get those traditional hack and slash games anymore. We don't get the Ninja Gaidens and the Dante Inferno. We don't get those type of games anymore. So when I saw Stellar Blade the first two times that they showed it, I'm just like, okay, this looks like a better Bayonetta. It looks like if like you would take a Bayonetta and then Nier Automata and just like fuse it together. Like it looks kind of like those two games, but just like the graphics look good. Like I rewatched some of the trailer a few weeks ago, and it looks good. I think the only thing that I noticed there, like maybe the impact as far as like you attacking people or attacking like the creatures and stuff, the impact could be a little better. But I do think they're gonna show some more. Like they got to, because I believe that the release date is 2023. It's supposed to be this year, unless they end up delaying it, which I pray not. But we should see more of that.
Nothing to add.
Are you
I'm
even
not.
looking? Yeah. Are you looking forward to that game, or are you just like,
I'm
it's
not gonna.
too...
I'm not gonna have high hopes for it until I see more. I'm just gonna say that. I need to see more.
I mean, it can't be. Man, well, I'm gonna say what I'm about to say because I don't want to piss nobody off. I'm gonna just say what I gotta say. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna move on. Pragmata. So do you remember Pragmata? Do you remember what this is?
It sounds familiar. Hold on.
Don't look it up. You probably don't remember what it is. So what Pragmata was, it is a game from Capcom, and it's been like they've been dead silent when it comes to this game, and I think this might end up being the Deep Down of this generation. Like if you don't remember what Deep Down was, that was a game that they showed off like very early on in the PS4 generation. It kind of reminded me of like Dark Souls sort of thing as far as like the I guess you can say the aesthetic and everything. But this kind of reminds me of Deep Down in terms of like they've been silent this whole time. And I remember the trailer and it looked cool. It kind of reminded me of, I don't want to say Dead Space, but it's like very like sci-fi sort of thing. We haven't seen any gameplay from this or anything. It got delayed to I want to say this year. They better show this game, otherwise I'm kind of concerned because Capcom, like, if it's not Resident Evil, they really, well, if it's not Resident Evil and Monster Hunter, it's kind of like Capcom is like kind of hit and miss. I mean, yeah, we have Street Fighter 6, which is something that see. I don't know if they're gonna show that here too. Cause that was something that I was gonna refrain from talking about. But Street Fighter 6, maybe they show that here. Maybe they put a what's the word I'm looking for? One final push for that game since it's coming out in like 2 weeks. So maybe they'll show some new footage for that. Maybe, but they just did a big blowout event with Lil Wayne, which I didn't watch all of it. But but like Street Fighter 6 is something that, like, if they show it, great. If they don't, I've seen enough of it. I'm gonna buy it. But Pragmata, they need to show Pragmata. They showed Pragmata the first time The first showcase they did, that was the first time they showed it, and then they didn't show it last time, I don't think. So yeah, we need to see that. So those were like all the notable ones as far as I saw when I was looking up what games they showed last time at a PlayStation showcase. And so, kind of getting into the rumored territory, we got Mortal Kombat 12, which is rumored to be Mortal Kombat 1. They had a big tease where like it was a clock, and then the clock hand, instead of going to 12, it just switched to 1. So people are believing that it's gonna be a reboot. I heard that, and this is just a rumor. Peacemaker is supposed to be in there as, I guess, DLC maybe. Conan, and it was some other dude from The Boys also. And I believe it because they've done crossovers and stuff before with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. But so, do you think we're gonna be seeing Mortal Kombat 12 this week, as far as like the PlayStation Showcase? I think Ed Boon has been teasing something, so it's kind of likely.
I mean, they teased something for tomorrow, so
Oh, they did.
something will be revealed
Oh,
tomorrow.
okay. So maybe we'll
So that's
get.
pretty much
So maybe
yeah,
we'll
pretty
get
much.
a small tease and then something at the event.
Yeah, tomorrow's a new dawn. I got the tweet up right here actually. Clock going to 1, and it just says it is time, May 18th, 6 a.m. PT time.
So are you even hyped for Mortal Kombat? Like I've noticed this at the last Mortal Kombat where like I don't know if it's the last one or the one before that where like they it was basically like the next generation, like it had like Scorpion's son or something like that. That was the one I kind of fell off on. I like their story modes and stuff, but I think Mortal Kombat as a fighting game, I can't get into it. I can't really get into it. It's cool. Like I like the fatalities and the especially like the arcade mode stories and like all the content and stuff. Like it's cool, but I don't think I would spend $60 on it. Like I'll buy a Street Fighter and maybe Tekken over that though.
I mean, I got into it at 10. I did not go into it around 9, which I should have.
Oh,
But
you never played the reboot?
no, I never played the reboot. I got into it around 10.
Yeah, I remember when the reboot came out. I think we were still in high school when that
Yeah,
came
we
out.
were.
Yeah.
We were. Good
Yeah, because I
God.
remember I think I like got out of school early and ended up being able to play that. So
Yes, people, we are old. Okay, that should get. Hey, we're talking about like the reboot in high school. That should give you a rough age
it's
of how old
crazy.
we are.
So this one's gonna be a reboot, and then you have the I want to say the 2012 reboot or whatever, and then you have the first one. So it's gonna be Mortal Kombat, and then Mortal Kombat One. That's kind of
Dude,
ridiculous.
I have no idea what the hell Ed Boon is thinking with all these fucking reboots. I have no idea anymore. But it's just blah. The story has been botched like a lot. If
Like
you
at this
really
point,
think about it,
like at this
it's
point,
like
I just want Injustice, man. I really just want another
Injustice 3
Injustice game.
would go ham right now. Like I would love that rather than another
But I
damn
guess that's
reboot
up to
of
James Gunn at this point.
James Gunn needs to get his head out of his ass and like hit the approval on that already. God. There's enough material. There's still enough material to do this, to do another Injustice. Just saying. But when it comes to Mortal Kombat, dude, like if you really think about the story's all over the daggone place. Like it kind of does need another reboot, but at the same time, it kind of doesn't. But they've kind of written themselves into a daggone corner doing this.
And that's
So
probably why they rebooting it. Exactly why they're
I mean,
rebooting it.
I mean, Devore's out here like, killing everybody left and right, killing fan favorites left and right, and it's just like someone in that office likes his character. And this is coming from a Devore main, by the way. Even I'm like, dude, who in that office is letting her get off like this? Out here killing Melina, that was strike one, and everyone was just like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that was
Yeah,
right there. I'm
that and
like,
then the whole the outfit thing where like they the stuff they did with the females and stuff, outrage online with that.
oh my god, yeah, that's like, no, no, no,
It's
no,
just
no,
like
no.
playing Mortal Kombat games online, man. Like that community, man. They be spamming too much. Like It was one of those. It's one of those NetherRealm software games. Where dog, like it just turned into a shooting game. Like they had too many dudes with guns. I want to say that was Injustice though, but yeah, man, I'm not really looking forward to Mortal Kombat 12. Not saying it's, it's probably gonna be a great fighting game for people that like Mortal Kombat like that, and maybe I'll eventually, play it or whatever. But not something I'm really interested in. This next
It's gonna.
one, this
It's
next
gonna.
one, so this next game I gotta talk about. So this one we probably, so I'm actually gonna skip over this and kind of go to this next one. So, you mentioned this. You texted me the other day. Ghost 2. You think they're gonna show a new Ghost game? Ghost of Tsushima.
They might, but at the same time, they might not. Everyone's kind of expecting it, so I'm like, you know what? They might, but the more I think about the story and how it ended, and even the DLCs, I'm like, what can you do? What can you possibly do? Send Gene to another island? Is that what we're gonna do?
I think there was another part of like whatever war or something he was fighting. I guess there was another part to it.
I mean, and what ending are they going to use? It's another one of those infamous situations where it's
Oh,
just
there
like
was two
the
endings
ending.
because I never
Yeah,
played
there's
it.
two. There's kind of two endings. Whereas one, he keeps his. I'm gonna just spoil it here. I'm sorry for those who haven't played it or gotten to the end yet.
Spoiler
I'm gonna
warning.
spoil it. Yeah, spoiler warning if you still have it. One he leave.
Which I
He can
haven't.
leave his. Oh God, do I even want
I'll
to?
probably never play it anyway. At
All
this
right.
point,
One ending, he leaves his uncle alive, pretty much defying the whole like samurai code and all that. Basically saying, "No, I'm not gonna kill my only family I have left. I'd rather be branded as a fugitive." Or he goes out and just kills his uncle after they do battle and is branded a rogue anyway. So it's like you get the either the white armor or the red armor. So it's it's like, okay, there's one ending you could go with, and they could have his uncle hunting him down for all we know. But it's another one of those infamous situations where it's just like, one of these endings is gonna be canon. It's
they're
gonna have to be
probably gonna
canon.
they're probably gonna look at their statistics and then just see. They're probably gonna look at the statistics and then be like, oh well, everybody chose this, so we're gonna go with this ending. That's probably what they're gonna end up doing. I honestly, like I told you the other day when you text me, I'm like, dude, we don't need Ghost 2, man. Like not like Sony, like one of my issues with them nowadays, like they just make sequels to stuff that they don't need to make sequels to. Like The Last of Us. That did I will keep saying that game did not need a sequel. That it just didn't need a sequel. But yeah, like instead of doing Ghost 2, I'd rather see Sucker Punch go back to Infamous. Or if they don't want to go back to Infamous, do another IP. Do something new. I just don't really need to see another Ghost game. Not saying it was bad or anything. I just don't like even when they were showing that game off years ago. It was just like it looked cool and stuff. It just like I don't know. It felt like they were following that Sony template and not really being creative like they was with Infamous.
It's a missed opportunity thinking back. I mean, hell, I still like am salty with them for not like taking the Infamous 2 route with how the evil um ending
I
and
mean,
going from
dude,
there and
all they
just
gotta do is just retcon it. Just retcon it.
and then just make and just go after Cole as the you can either join Cole or you can either go against him for Infamous 3 because I still feel like there's potential there, but I don't think they would want to do that because they probably might think like, okay, this is old work, but there's still story with that.
I mean, even if
Or
they don't, not to cut you off, but man, even if they don't want to do another Infamous, just pass it off to someone else. Like it seems like that's what they're gonna do, and we're probably gonna talk about Naughty Dog later. But that seems like what they're gonna do with Uncharted, because Naughty Dog isn't working on the next Uncharted.
of course, so it's like they have no problem doing that. God, but Infamous needs to make a comeback, especially with the abundance of superhero shit that we have now. It compares to how it was back then, or even when Second Son and First Light came out. It's ridiculous just how much of a boom period we've had, and now people have gotten to the point where it's like, okay, we're kind of sick of superhero stuff. So it's just like they kind of missed their window
Yeah,
here.
it's just so crazy. Not to get too not to get too off track or anything, but with the whole PlayStation, their whole move of bringing their games, their IP to like film now with The Last of Us, and with Twisted Middle pretty soon. It's just so weird that Infamous wasn't the first game y'all was like, you know what, Marvel's cool. Marvel has been blowing things out of the water. That should have been the first game that y'all should have been like, okay, we can hop on this superhero craze. Like
We need to
Infamous,
strap a rocket to this.
like that should have been a no brainer. So it's kind of weird. Like if you're not gonna do anything with the IP as far as video games goes, why don't you just make a movie out of that, man, or a TV series or something? But yeah, as far as Sucker Punch goes, do I just want them to do something, either something new or freaking or another Infamous game. But Ghost 2, that is a more likely thing. As far as us seeing it here, I wouldn't put it past them. Maybe not, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Honestly, I'd rather them just do a daggone. I'd rather have Sucker Punch do like a Samurai Jack nod and just have Gene go after something like Aku or something and just send it to the fucking future. To be honest, I'd rather just have one of those and just like, okay, new world, new set of problems.
At a certain point, they're gonna have to just make something up. I would assume.
It's like, what can you do? The Hans are gone, but you can still bring some of them back. It's like you can't do that much else. But again, like at this point, I would just send Gene in the future and just do that. Just deal with conduits or some shit. Samurai versus conduits or something. I don't know. Something else. I don't know.
Okay, so after, and it just came to me, and I can't think of what the name of this game is, because there's another type of samurai type of game that PlayStation, it's a first party game they announced with, I want to say, Team Ninja. It was not at a PlayStation showcase. It was at a state of play. I want to say like a year ago. I know you know what I'm talking about. But if I gotta look it up, but I don't know if they're gonna show that. I don't know if they're gonna show that. I forgot the name. I don't know if it's called Way of the Ninja or something. That's probably wrong. I gotta look it up. But speaking of ninjas, so there's a rumor that, and I read this on Twitter. I don't know how accurate or viable this is, but apparently Naruto Storm Connections. We're gonna be getting a trailer for that. We over here, we're anime fans. I watch a lot of anime. He watches a lot of anime, so we probably gonna get deep in the weeds with this. So apologies, but Storm Connections, CyberConnect 2 has a lot to show in order to justify, because ain't that game supposed to be like $60-$70, and
yes,
like as of right now, it really seems like it's just the Storm Legacy Collection, with Storm 4 tacked on, because I don't think Legacy Collection had 4 in it, but it just seems like they're just repackaging that. It has better graphics, and I know that they're gonna be adding I would say
Inra
like
and Ashura.
Well, yeah, that new characters and stuff, of course. But I was gonna say states, like different states, like so, like when you attack somebody, so like, cause it's probably been a while since you played the game, so you probably don't remember. So like when you attack somebody, you can't like follow up. So like if I do a Chidori or like a Fireball Jutsu, I can't like follow up after that. So from the gameplay that they showed from Baron Naruto and that new version of Sasuke, you can see that you can follow up now, which is good. But that's something that should have already been in the game. Like I went back and re-downloaded the game just to kind of see how the game plays, because it's been a while. And dude, I really think that the Storm games, they're just not good fighting games. They're good fan service games. They're a great way to introduce somebody to the story and just relive the events of Naruto. But they're not good. They're really not good fighting games. They're party games. They're fan servicey games. But the combat system is too freaking shallow. And dude, so last week, because I remember I sent you the images. So apparently they're gonna they're doing this thing where they're gonna be adding a simple mode into the game. So
Game journalist mode.
pretty much. So for those of y'all that might not know what I'm talking about, so essentially in games like let's say Street Fighter, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they had like a simplified version of like the button inputs and stuff to like make to pretty much make doing like special moves and everything easier. And so it's kind of weird because there's nothing difficult about the Storm game, the button, what I'm trying to say, the freaking the inputs and stuff. Like there's nothing complex. The only thing you might have issues with doing is pretty much the tilt. Is the tilt attacks. That's like the only thing that people had issues with back in the day was the tilt attacks. That's the only thing. It's like unless they're gonna overhaul it like completely, because even if they do it like Demon Slayer, where they suddenly start adding more jutsus, and that's gonna be like skills like in Demon Slayer, it's not hard. It's not something that's so difficult for anybody to grasp. It's like it's something that you could get. Like here's the thing, and I'm not even exaggerating this. Like when my nephews were younger, and we were like we used to buy like the Naruto games when they would come out. I remember I used to let them play it, and they didn't have trouble playing the game, and they were little. Like it's not hard. So I'm trying to figure out why do we need a simple mode. This is the opposite of what CyberConnect 2 should be doing. I feel like it's very tone deaf. They need to be going more complex, not simplifying it. So, but like I said, we probably won't get in the weeds with this because both of us are pretty much like, okay, Naruto, Storm, and you're not really giving us anything new as far as like, okay, we're getting new characters, but how much of this is Boruto, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's so much Boruto content, but as far as we know, they only said that I think it's supposed to be an original story, an original story with Boruto, and it's like, dude, there's all this Boruto content. Like, I know that Boruto has been in like filler hell for a while, but they've actually gotten out of filler, and they like I want to say they finished up to now they're gonna go to part 2 whenever it comes back. So it's like there's all this content you can adapt, and it's like I know there's gonna be people out there where it's like, okay, oh my god, it's a new Storm game, and they're gonna buy it regardless because it's a new Storm game, and I get that Boruto is not the most popular thing, but it's like, dude, it's time to move on from Naruto Shippuden. It's like, dude, if they don't show more Boruto characters, like that's another thing that would make me not want to buy the game. I mean, they're already not selling people like that's the main thing they need to show. If this rumor is true, if they're gonna show it here, they got to show what's new about this game, because even the last trailer, I don't think you saw this. So they did a collaboration trailer for Naruto top 99, top 100, whatever, and they showed no new footage. I was like, what was the point of this? They didn't even show what the characters were ranked. Sakura somehow was ranked number 3, and they didn't show the characters, their ranking. So like, what was the point of that?
You got me. I have no idea.
Like, dude, man, like that. I know you. I'm surprised you don't. Like, dude, I'm surprised you don't even have more to say about this, because
no, because you're literally hitting every note I can possibly think of here. It's just like I already said everything.
My fault, guy. I didn't mean to go off like that. I didn't mean to
go. No, you were just going for it, man. I was just letting you. I was just like,
I didn't mean to go off like that. But like the thing is, I haven't talked about this game since it got announced, and then there's been all this stuff coming out. Like we got images of like the online and everything, and how it seemed like you're gonna be able to like level up your characters and stuff. But I haven't gotten a chance to talk about it, and like I was for sure being like, okay, I was for sure coming into this thinking, okay, you're gonna have a lot to say about this, because you were the main one texting me about how much of a cash grab this seems like it's gonna be. So, But I didn't mean
And
to
like,
go off like that. I'm gonna let you.
well,
I'm gonna let you. I'll let
here's
you
the
get your
other.
stuff in there.
Here's the this another stupid saying that people are saying now. Let them cook. Let them cook. That shit.
Dude,
I was letting you do that.
okay, dude. So
I was just
now that you
letting you
mentioned
like,
that, and I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. But now that you mentioned that,
and I hate that.
let me just say this, man, because I keep hearing people say that. Oh, CC2, let them cook. Let them cook.
I hate it so much.
Dude,
I hate it so much.
I'm gonna say this. Look, not all chefs are 5 stars. Man, not all chefs are 5 stars. Okay, you know, not everybody can be Walter White. Not everybody got the crystal blue. Yeah,
Oh my god!
not everybody's freaking Gordon Ramsay, freaking Emerald. Like some people is just the guy working at McDonald's in the back.
Well, damn.
No.
Well, some people are just season 1 Jesse and Captain Cook, Mr. Captain Cook over there putting the chili powder in the ingredients. I actually remember that. But yeah, as much as I hate the expression, I was just letting you like fire off because I know just by the way you were going off, I'm like you were holding that one in.
Yes, like I was seeing all this crap on Twitter. And then you got Senju in Japan. I think the dude, like, I get that he gets some leaks and stuff right, but it's like some of the videos he be doing. I'm like, are you serious, my man? Are you serious? I'm like, really? And people be eating that crap up, and I'm like I get it. Like some people, like, dude, you give them Bear Naruto, they're satisfied. But I'm just like, dog, we got all these Boruto content. Let's get this Boruto content. There's so much they can do with this battle system. They need to overhaul, like freaking giving us more jutsus per character, for one thing.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm gonna let you, if you have anything else to add on this, because I don't want to spend too much about too long on this. But
all right, I'll make this short as I can. Okay.
Nah, go as long as you want though. Go as long as you want.
All right, you know what? I already said it in my daggone video on this topic, but you know what? It is a cash grab. I don't care what anyone like tries to come at me and says otherwise. I still stand by everything what I said in that video. This is a daggone cash grab. Everything you could possibly do with this game, you could easily put in Storm 4 and literally just update it and put it for a free update. Give us the new visuals. Give us the faster loading times because it's not like we don't have the fucking power for it.
Right.
It's not like it isn't. We don't have the power for it now, and especially since you're just putting every character in this thing, just put the new characters via update in Storm 4, or just do what you like to do and just have us pay for them through a $20 paywall, like you guys like to do. Dude, it's not like y'all. What?
No, what? I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go.
Because you guys aren't above that. I mean, you're already doing this with this. You're already doing the paywall thing with this whole game. And I'm using quotations as I say new game, because that's exactly what this is. It is a $60 update, basically, with just 8 new characters and an easy mode? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, an easier mode? Guys, this was never hard to begin with. Storm was never that intricate of a game to begin with.
Facts.
And an intricate fighting game, no less. Y'all need to go somewhere with this nonsense, because when I saw this in easier mode, I'm like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? In comparison to, the announcement of the return of God tier Budokai Tenkaichi 4 over there in the corner.
Absolute fire.
That little teaser just outshined everything that this had going for it. Everything. It hasn't even shown us anything substantial but the visuals of what could be. And that's it. If that's what we're in for, it's already done its job. And the fact that it even exists, it's already in another league than this nonsense that you guys are trying to shill out for the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th time, I believe. I lost count because Storm Legacy again exists. Storm 4 exists. There's
And then there
nothing you
was
could.
another one, right? Storm Collection or whatever.
Yeah, the Storm Collection was has all the 4 games in one package, except not counting Generations or Revolution, because God knows, like they are never going to acknowledge the. Oh yeah, we had a tournament arc, didn't we? A random ass tournament arc game, didn't we? Yeah,
Yep.
we did.
That
We
that was
don't talk about
definitely
that.
that was definitely a holdover game.
Yeah, I know, and they never mentioned it
That
ever
and
again.
Generations though. Generations is all right.
Look,
Even though
I like.
then again, I didn't like the substitution gauge which they kept. So
Yeah, I like the tournament arena, to be honest. I'll be fair with it and say, like, I like the concept of it, but you can definitely tell this was just a cash grab holdout until like the anime or the manga like got to where it needed to go. But Lord have mercy, I am tired of developers doing this where it's like, okay, you guys want this? You guys want the easy mode? You guys want another release of this shit? No, I want there to be actual improvements. Don't give me an easy mode to an easy game, man. Don't do this.
and like the
You can
thing,
give me
so
you can give me eight new characters. Anra, Inra, and Ashura. 2 people that should have already been in the game. Another version of Sasuke. Another version of Naruto. Another version of Sarada. Another version of Boruto with the fucking like marks on them and shit. Really? We're keep doing this? It's 2023. We're still doing this. How many times y'all gonna release Storm 4, man? I'm tired of it.
And the crazy thing is, they're gonna put out DLC. They're gonna announce DLC.
That's the worst part.
A freaking season pass for the joint. And like the thing is, dude, if we don't get Boruto, man, if we don't get Boruto's classmates, that's another L. Like, can we get Chocho? I know they're gonna try to get the big ones out there. They got to get Kawaki. They got to get Kawaki. They got to get I forgot the other guy's name. What's his? Not Jiren. I'm thinking Dragon Ball. I know it's some guy's name who starts with a J. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Jogan, whatever the heck his name is. I haven't watched Boruto in a while, but man, like I know they're gonna go for the bigger ones, but I do want to see characters like Chocho, characters like freaking what thing is the name? Freaking Enogen. Like I want to see all them characters in there. Like, and I really want them to like make the characters unique, man. Just really blow out the battle system, because like all we know now is that we're gonna get different states anytime you attack. Like I mentioned earlier, anytime you do certain jutsu, and I believe you're also gonna be able to like do jutsu, like so you can be attacking and then you can do a jutsu right after. I guess they're gonna make that a lot easier. And there was something else, but I'm blanking on it right now. But other thing with the online though, that I do need to mention, because I mentioned the whole fact of you being able to like level up your characters and everything. And I remember Senju in Japan had a video about there being a new online mode, and just watching them talking that video, I'm just like, dude. After seeing this image, I'm just like, y'all can add all the bells and whistles y'all want to. They showed off, customization, which I could have sworn that we had customization in a prior game, but cool, whatever.
We had it in 3, and it was barely any customization whatsoever.
Like, dude, you can have all this customization all you want, all these bells and whistles. If that net code is still trash, I mean, yeah, people are gonna still play it. People are still playing Storm now, but that's terrible. There's no excuse for that in 2023, where everybody's going toward rollback netcode. They're going to.
Honestly, I'm glad I'm seeing like comments like this isn't selling me, it's like stuff like that. I'm actually like I'm loving the reception,
because there'll usually be a bunch of shills and just people just like, oh, it's Storm, I'm buying it automatic.
Yeah, and then those people, just y'all, there's no hope for y'all like whatsoever. But then again, I'm a WWE2K mark, so I really can't say shit about that.
I mean, here's the thing, man. Everybody has that one. Okay, let's be fair. Everybody has that one franchise where it's like, oh, you can slap anything on top of the box, and I'm gonna buy it. Like people that like Star Wars, if you put Star Wars in a box, they gonna buy the game. Like people have that one franchise or whatever. So it's not fair to like try to punch down on them or whatever. And I hate that term, but it's it is what it is. But I mean, man, they got to show something substantial with this rumored trailer though. I know we spent a lot of time on that, so let's go ahead and move on. Unless you got something else to say.
Honest to God, man, like I think we pretty much hit every nail on the head with this. Like we're kind of just tired of the nonsense when it comes to like Storm games. Like Storm needs to die already. The Storm needs to die already.
Look, either adapt or die. Like you said, man, either adapt or go away.
Adapt or perish. Adapt or perish. That is basically the definition of evolution. Adapt or perish. What are you gonna do?
Like they need to be looking at what King did with My Hero One's Justice 2, man. If they don't look at what they did there, no hope for them.
Hey, Jesus, man. Like I just to do something else, man. Just do something else, man. Stop going to this same tired
man. So I know they're doing something. Well, you know what? I'm gonna mention it here. We're probably gonna make this a lot longer. This is gonna be our anime segment, so bear with us, guys. I'll probably have timestamps on this, hopefully. But they're doing a jump game, right? They're partnering. So they're partnering with Spike, the guys that did Jump Force.
Too soft.
So they're partnering with Spike, the guys that did Jump Force, for another jump style game. And this is rumored, of course. And I think, well, I don't know if there's any release date for it or anything, but they basically said, Storm developers going to do it, so we can expect it to play like Storm. So I'm just thinking, oh, it's just going to be Storm, but you got Luffy and Gon and freaking a dude from Jujutsu Kaisen in there. Like, it's going to be Storm with, so basically just PC mods.
All I'm
basically
just thinking about
PC
is
mods.
All I'm thinking is Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen, just one piece and two piece and combo people.
And it's like,
that's all I can think about.
I get why Jump would go to Dumb for an easy cash grab game. Like, why not, instead of going to CC2, why not go to Arc System Works? It's honestly, like they did Dragon Ball FighterZ, a great freaking anime fighting game. There's a great fighting game, period. Like, why? Like, we don't need more. We don't need more of the same. Because again, we have not only Storm, we have Demon Slayer. So those are two games that are kind of very similar. So it's like, we got that. Then we got My Hero One's Justice. So we don't really need another one unless it's doing something different. So yeah.
I mean, Demon Slayer is literally just Storm 5.
I wasn't gonna say it, but that's
I'll say it.
But see, that's another reason why, after that came out, I was like, okay, people were still saying Storm 5, we want Storm 5, and it's just like, go play Demon Slayer.
Y'all in denial.
That's really what it is.
Y'all in denial if you say otherwise.
It's basically Naruto, but with Demon Slayer characters.
With swords. It's basically if Sasuke got more sword combos, the game, basically.
Yeah, just Storm with a better combat system. But let's go ahead and move on. There's another rumor. So apparently Konami, they've been rumored to have made a deal with PlayStation for Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, the Silent Hill games that were previously announced, and Castlevania. Do you think we'll see any of those here?
Probably the Silent Hill game or the Silent Hill games. But other than that, I'm not going to put too much stock in Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake because, man, y'all, I've been hearing a damn Metal Gear Solid Remake for years. If you ain't going to do it, I'd be very surprised because other than, that, It's either that or the pachinko machine.
Yeah,
So
and the last one they did, the zombie joint was
survival
trash.
survive. That
That joint was
flopped
hot garbage.
hard. That was, and as someone who played it, is garbage. It's one of the
Oh, you
worst zombie
actually
games.
bought that crap?
Dude, PS Plus.
They actually had the nerve to offer that to people? Really?
$5. It was
I
$5.
mean, I
It
mean,
was five
so
dollars, and I still felt cheated. I still feel like I got cheated.
I mean, as long as it's linear, as long as they don't try to do what they did with Metal Gear Solid 5, like, to this day, I wish that game was linear. If that game was linear and they allowed Kojima to actually finish it, it would have been good.
Excuse me. Survive literally is just the Afghanistan map
Oh my god.
Phantom Pain, but worse. It's foggy and just has a bunch of shit in it. That's basically it. It's some semblance of a story of how you got there, but I'm like, and this was years ago, dude. This was just terrible. It's just they tried to get you to buy save slot for Christ's sake. That's how down bad these people were. I remember what you did, Capcom. Just because you got Silent Hill 2 remake
Yeah,
and
I was about to mention Silent Hill because I'm
Silent
not
Hill
into
what?
Silent Hill, so I'm not into Silent Hill. And the only time I was even remotely interested in Silent Hill was when Kojima was involved with it. So I have no dog in the race or nothing, but they could show it here. I mean, it's been rumored for years that Sony has been working with that Sony's going to be working with Konami on stuff. So, I mean, now's the time. Now's the time, and it's honestly like for me again with Metal Gear. You know, as long as it's not linear, maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll be interested in it. Castlevania. I don't. I don't know if they're gonna show that. I don't. So for one thing, I don't think they're gonna show all three of these. Honestly, it would probably be a fever dream to for some people if they were to show Metal Gear, Castlevania, and all those games all at once. I think maybe we'll get one of those. Maybe Metal Gear Solid 3 since I've been hearing a lot of that. Castlevania, if they do another Castlevania, if it's like that last Metroid game that came out, the one on the Switch, Metroid Dread, if it's like that, I don't care about it. Like if you do if they do another what was the joint on PS3 called? Cause I like that one. I know it wasn't the best one. Like I know it wasn't the best. I know it had its problems, but I think they should take another crack at doing a full on 3D Castlevania game because I would enjoy that. I would like that more than a 2D one.
Honest, I got no dog in this race. Not that big on Castlevania. Yeah, it's sinful. But we'll see where this goes. To be fair, we'll see where this goes.
Okay, so we're out of the rumored section. And so, okay, so some of the things that we could see, just to kind of rattle them off. You remember that game, Eternights? That was the game. Go ahead.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. So for those of y'all who might have forgotten, Eternights was the Persona-inspired dating sim action RPG game.
Oh,
That was the one
yeah.
that was announced at the State of Play, like I want to say a year ago, whatever. I believe it got delayed to, I want to say spring of this year, or maybe they didn't have a release date. Maybe we could see that. I hope we can see more of that. It looked cool. That was the one that was like hold R2 to hold hands or something like that.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm remembering this now.
Yeah, man. I hope we see some of that. And then the Last of Us factions. Will we finally see this game? I mean, they've been very I don't want to say tight-lipped. I mean honestly they showed some stuff at Jeff Keighley's event. I want to say either last year or year before last. But they haven't really shown a lot of that game. There was some, I want to say there was some leak gameplay, either alpha gameplay, beta gameplay, or something like that a long time ago, I want to say. But
Uh,
yeah, it's time to show factions, man. It's time to show that, and it would be a
it's
great
overdue.
time. Oh, go ahead.
It's overdue at this point. Like, yeah, I may not be all that high on Last of Us. I still feel like you guys peaked with the first game, and you guys should have just stopped there. But factions, it's one of those things that people have like really been clamoring for because part two didn't have any multiplayer. So it's like you guys didn't give it any multiplayer, but you
And
split
then the
it
remake didn't
in,
have one either. Let's put
and you
that out
guys
there
like
too.
you guys literally just put it in its own game as a standalone multiplayer game. So it's like you guys kind of need a win for this one. But then again, y'all been riding high for a while with part two, and then now you had the HBO series under your belt. So
Excuse me.
it's like I'm kind of tired of hearing Last of Us every damn where, to be honest with you. So if this
Same.
happens,
Same.
kudos. I'm tired of the ads. I'm tired of.
I mean, I'll try. Like, here's the thing. I'll try factions because I liked it in the first game.
I
mean,
like multiplayer in the first game, but dear God, man,
I honestly liked it more than the single player as far as like the gameplay goes.
Oversaturation does a lot. It's
And,
like
we're gonna talk about Sony and they multiplayer plans. We gonna talk about that.
once you see something that's oversaturated enough, it's like, okay, I'm tired of you. Go somewhere. Go back in the corner somewhere. That's where I am with this. So it's like, if it happens, cool for y'all. Cool. But I'm like, yeah, all right.
Like I know we both can agree on this that Naughty Dog just needs to move on to new IP. And I know you mentioned you text me I want to say a couple days ago about Naughty Dog doing a possible new IP. So maybe, hopefully, well, I don't think we're gonna see that. We're gonna see one or the other. We either gonna see the new IP or see factions. If we see anything at all from them, it'll be one or the other. I don't think we're gonna see both. I mean, they really are like they're not Insomniac, in which their pipeline is crazy.
Yeah, we need a win, man.
Okay, so I guess the last thing here is live these. So for those of y'all who might not know, it was a while back where Sony basically, I guess they announced that they were gonna do a bunch of live service games. They have like, I don't know, what did they say, like 10 live service games in development. I remember listening to a podcast last week where they were talking about Sony shutting down some, I think it was like some shooting game that they were doing. I think it was like a sci-fi shooter or something. But there's going to be all these live service games because, stuff like Fortnite and freaking Destiny and stuff like that, that makes a lot of money. And so, of course, Sony wants to get in on that. So one of the live service titles that they're planning on doing is Twisted Metal. Now, I really don't think Twisted Metal needs to be a live service title.
No, God, no.
It's like the last game didn't even do well. And here's the thing, like I grew up with Twisted Metal. I love Twisted Metal. That last game wasn't it. I'm hoping this next one is good, but it being a live service title, I'm kind of a little shaky on because live service stuff, like something that Sony and all these other companies don't get is like people have a finite amount of time, and it's like they want games to where you just keep going back to it over and over. You never stop playing it. But the thing is, it's like if everybody has a game like that, something's got to give. Not everybody's gonna have time to play Destiny and then Anthem and then all these different type of live service games. I'm just giving examples there, but not everybody's gonna be able to have time to play all those type of games. And so with Sony taking this initiative to do multiplayer games, I'm just like, dude, nobody. No, I don't want to say nobody, but it's like most people don't come to the platform, come to PlayStation for multiplayer games. It's like we come there for the single player games, right?
Yeah.
It's like nobody asked for this, but I do expect to, because they said that we're going to be seeing a few new creations. I expect some some of those new creations to be live service titles. I definitely expect it.
Wonderful.
You have like no comment on this because it's just like multiplayer stuff. I get it. I get it. You don't like that sort of stuff, but I gotta bring it up because it is
Multiplayer live
funny.
service.
Games as a service type of stuff is, man, it's not the way, Sony. It's like we come to you. Well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I would say like most people come to Sony's platform for the single player cinematic type games, and that's what they should stick to doing. Like one thing I think we can both agree on is that we don't want to see a lot of PlayStation VR games at this thing because they said they're gonna be focusing on PSVR too.
Yeah, we definitely need that. More multiplayer games. Great. Great.
It's like between multiplayer games and like VR games, like that's something that we both aren't really crazy about. And then VR is something to where most people aren't gonna try to shell out like what is it like $500 $600 for the new PlayStation VR. It's
Yep.
like it's just a waste of freaking money, man. It's just like some of the decisions Sony is doing nowadays between that and then just their push for Horizon, greenlighting all these Horizon games. Like there's supposed to be a Horizon multiplayer thing they're supposed to be doing. I don't think we're gonna see that here. But then again, with the way Sony has been just putting out all these different things like the Last of Us remake and everything, I wouldn't be surprised. But is there? So I guess we can kind of start wrapping up now. Is
I mean,
there
Zero Dawn
anything?
is literally getting a remaster, and it ain't
Oh
even been
yeah,
out
I
that damn
totally forgot
long.
about that. Yep.
I didn't. When I saw that, I'm like, "You seeing this shit, buddy?" That's the first thing I did is like text this man. I'm like, "Dude, check this. Look, it's not even 5 years old. This thing already doing
Right.
this. Look at this."
Like it's crazy that there are really people online that were defending the Last of Us remake, and then now that it's like really. I gotta see if it was something like with what came out this year with a Dead Space remake. That made sense. The game came out in 2008. It didn't get remastered or anything prior to the remake, so that makes sense. The Last of Us
And
literally had a remaster in like what 2013, I think, on the
yeah,
PS4. It's like some
yeah,
stuff does not need to be remade. Like I get why they did it from a business perspective because they got the new game, like they got the new HBO TV show, so that's why they were trying to tie that in. But it's not like the game isn't available. Like you can't play the game on a PS5 right now. Still, you can still play that PS4 version. It's still there. It has factions on it. You know what doesn't have factions? The Last of Us remake. It just didn't make no sense.
it's ass, man. It's like how Sony's been doing things, like certain things. It's just like it's kind of like former shell. They're like the shells of their former selves in some aspects.
Like they're
And it's just
going
like,
down. Well, now that you say that, like they're going down a dark. I don't. Well, I don't want to. Man, I don't want to sound so doom and gloom, but I am concerned with how they're just some of their business decisions between all this push for like adapting their series into movies. Now, granted, again, HBO Max, the freaking The Last of Us, people are enjoying it. The Uncharted movie, I actually, for somebody that does not like Uncharted, and I know that Uncharted movie was technically not an Uncharted movie because Mark Wahlberg and freaking Tom Holland, they are not Nathan Drake and Sully. The little that I know about Uncharted, I know that those were not the characters, but man, it was a fun movie. I'm not gonna lie, that was a fun movie. The Gran Turismo movie looks like it could be decent. I'm not gonna lie, and maybe twisted middle, but the movies, like between the push for movies and television and all that crap, and then again, like what I mentioned before with the live services, and then we're mentioning the remakes and all this, the unnecessary remakes nobody asked for. It's like it is weird business decisions with them.
Yeah. It's maddening how like they're carrying themselves in some ways, but it's like at least they're not putting out like 5 rated games though.
Is that a shot at Xbox?
At least they're not putting out
Is that
incomplete
a shot at
games.
Xbox?
I didn't say you did.
Is that a shot at Phil? Is that a
I
shot?
mean, you can take it that way if you want.
Is that a
but,
shot at Matt Booty? Is that a shot?
Yes. Booty.
But is there anything that you would like to see, like anything that we haven't mentioned as far as stuff you would like to see or stuff that you might expect to see there that we haven't mentioned? Because that's pretty much I've gone through everything on the list.
Other than what we've said, like I think we've hit the nail on the head with most of like what we would want. So nah, I really have nothing else to add. Like I just hope it isn't like a waste of time. Honestly, the thing I really want is Spider-Man gameplay, and if we get a Venom shot, please make the motherfucker look menacing as hell. That's all I really want. I don't want joke Venom. I just do not.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna do that.
I've had enough. I've had enough of joke Venom, but people can also make the argument of, oh yeah, but he's a joke. He makes funny in the comics, but that's not the comics. Every medium is different. I've had enough of joke Venom to last a lifetime.
Between that and then like I just don't want Screwball. Please never do that again. Screwball,
oh God,
get rid of that. And I need to see Carnage. If they do Carnage, I might freak out, man. They do Carnage.
That damn Gwenpool ripoff. Oh God, no. Never.
Deadpool ripoff. It's not even a Deadpool ripoff. Like Screwball was basically Riddler. That was basically their version of Riddler.
I hated those damn challenges, man. You want to talk about the damn pigeons? No, those Screwball challenges. No. Gave me anger veins. You talk about the pigeons. The pigeons weren't even that bad compared to that nonsense. But God, no, just something good next week, please.
Yeah, one thing, I guess the last thing I'll say is, man, I just hope that they don't spend too much time on PlayStation VR 2 and then a bunch of indie games and stuff. Like, we didn't come here for that. I know they say it's going to be, like, over an hour long. Like, I need y'all to, like, dedicate, like, at least 5-6 minutes on, like, the big ones. Like, Marvel's Wolverine, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Stellar Blade, definitely. One thing I will say, I don't expect to see Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. I think that like went through some problems. I think they were going through
the writers, something with the writers, and it's like they found out the main writer was like had a bunch of demons in the closet or some shit, like something. It was something bad. So we haven't heard not much out of them out of that front for a while.
Okay, so like right now, before we wrap up, I'm trying to find that game I mentioned. Okay, I think this is it. Rise of the Ronin. You remember what that was from Team Ninja? I think it's Team Ninja. Yeah, it is Team Ninja. It says it right here. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna see that. I think they said that's like a 2024 game though. It kind of reminds me of Ghost a little bit.
Yeah, we ain't seen that until next year probably.
And like that's the thing. Kind of going back is like. And I think you texted me about this like a few months ago also. Well, not months ago, weeks ago. Sony has a template. I think we all know Sony has a template. Over the shoulder, third person. And with that game I just mentioned, Rise of the Ronin, I kind of feel like they're doing two similar things, man. Like they need to kind of branch out. Like, okay, Ghost, and then we have that, right? So that's too similar, right? Mm-hmm. Like I kind of think they need to branch out. That's why like some people feel like, oh, Naughty Dog is like they're too good for Jack and Dexter, that sort of thing. But I think
y'all can piss off with that argument,
dude. I think that they need. I think that Sony needs those type of like AA, like a Hi-Fi Rush type of games and stuff. I think they kind of need different sort of games like platformers and stuff like that. Like they had stuff like Kenna and stuff, but
because you basically become one note at that point. They basically they found the formula that works, and they don't want to really go back to like what made them what they are. Not only that, but management and Neil Druckmann is the captain of that ship, and I don't. Honestly, I'll keep saying this until I'm blue and God calls me home. I do not want Neil Druckmann touching anything of Jack and Daxter because that man will probably ruin everything that made the duo what they are.
I mean, they honestly just need to give it to Insomniac. I mean, they've been doing good with Ratchet and Clank.
I know there's a reason like Ratchet and Clank is still relevant to this day. Insomniac can change up the formula, change up the story, and it still will have a better story than whatever they got going on across the street.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is like the people that be like, oh well, Naughty Dog shouldn't do another Jack and Daxter, and then you have people that for years they've been clamoring for another Sly game. And then, like I said, you got that group of the fan base that's like, okay, well, these companies, these developers going back is like, that would be a step back. That would be dumb for them to do. But it's like, Insomniac has proven that they can do both. They've proven that they can do serious stuff like Spider-Man, but then also do, Ratchet and Clank. It's like you can do both. You can have both. That's why I truly believe that Insomniac is their best studio. It is,
no doubt,
literally their best studio. That's why, like, if God forbid, Marvel's Wolverine that comes out like 2026, I'm willing to wait for them. I'm willing to wait for them, but
yeah, because they've proven like without a shadow of a doubt that they can do like a whole bunch of other stuff and still like they come up with these stories with these properties and still like make it work. I mean, hell, Ratchet and Clank has been here for 20 years and they still they're still telling their story and it's still like they revamp it every time. Now we got like there's a chance we can see the daggone Lombaxes now, and that's been a story that's been in the works for like years since I want to say like the future games when Ratchet's whole origin started to come up into question, like where did he come from and all this other stuff. And that they've been holding on to that for years. Now with alternate dimensions and all that, now with Rift Apart, they did this. It's like that's another layer of story they could tell now. They can do really no wrong because they have really proven themselves they can do this. So whatever they got in the pipeline for like Wolverine and all this other stuff, yeah, I'll wait because they've proven they could do it.
Okay,
hell.
Okay, last
I would
thing.
Go ahead.
My bad. Go on. I thought you was done.
Honestly, if we were to give them Jack and Daxter, and besides, they were daggone neighbors at one point back in the day. Like their offices were like right down the street from each other back in the day.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's like they had little Easter eggs in like Jack 2 and Ratchet Clank 2 about like their shared characters in their universe and whatnot. But yeah, they've been tight like that for years, but now like with the management and Naughty Dog and all that, I don't trust Naughty Dog to do Jack and Daxter justice. If Insomniac had it, I could guarantee that they would do things different, but it would work. That's it.
Okay, the only thing I was gonna add, because you mentioned whatever they have in their pipeline, do you think we're gonna get another Resistance since they're doing all these like live service games?
It would probably be in their best interest if they could,
because they said 10 live service games a while back, and then of course they're talking about new IPs, or I assume they're gonna be showing new IPs here. But if they do show any like, I guess long dormant games, I mean, because they gotta have a shooting game, right? Because there's been this whole fighting over Call of Duty with the FTC thing with Xbox and Activision deal and everything. I don't even want to get into it, but there's been that whole thing with them fighting back and forth. They kind of need their own shooter at this point. I think it's safe to say they do, and I think like out of all the ones they have SOCOM, they have Killzone, which I don't really like Killzone. Or at least the Killzone that I played, the one on PS4, I didn't think that was very good. Like I'd rather get another Resistance game, honestly.
Mm. Honestly, that would make a nice comeback, but I don't know. We'll wait and see what the hell these 10 live service games are about. God help me.
They'll be lucky if even one of them actually, is actually successful.
Mm.
But I guess we got everything. So pretty much, we'll see what they decide to show us next week. Again, it's going to be an hour long, so hopefully they don't spend too much time on PlayStation VR and indie games. Oh, we didn't really touch on what third party. Well, actually, we did with like Naruto and stuff. So pretty much that's everything. Thank you guys for listening to this discussion video. Let us know what you guys think they might show and everything like that. What you want them to show at this showcase and everything. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. We're out of here. Peace.